I started Cosmotive in 2014 and I joined YALI in 2018. I was just having my social enterprise running, but joining YALI mostly it contributed to my leadership skills and also mostly on handling the challenges. Because my key takeaway in the program was focusing on the things that you can control and not the things that you can't control. And that was the time I was transitioning, because I was facing different challenges about being a social entrepreneur. It's not same as like NGO or company. Everyone was like, choose one side. And also on the side of products, like people could see me in the kind of the angle of the product rather than the angle of the demographics I'm serving. So YALI was for me the time to decide for myself and to stick to the program I'm solving than going just or being.
I grew up seeing my fellow girls getting pregnant, but I didn't value it until it happened to one of my close family members. So at that time, I realized that it was like a new reality in my community, and I started to act. Now I have founded a social enterprise company that is entitled YALI Company Dukataza. We aim to fight teenage pregnancies and menstruation stigma through mental, social, and economic empowerment for them. And being part of the YALI program, it really changed how I was viewing things. It instilled in me to always begin with an end in mind, visualizing what I want to achieve in the future, and also to be able to state the steps that are going to help me to be able to realize the future that I was dreaming.
Oh, it's actually agriculture. So I found that there is a very, very huge opportunity in agribusiness. This is one of the sectors that looks like being left out, especially by this generation, where they see that agriculture is only for the rural youth. But I can see huge opportunity. I see how food is actually being highly demanded, and that's why I said I have to also venture into food. This is not actually my first company. This is my second company after realizing that need. Joining YALI, it has been really boon for me. Why? Because there are sorts of things that we cover there. Number one, being around the bright minds, the brave guys that have actually beat some fear out of them, and then they just go and follow their dreams and follow their ventures. So it's not easy to bring, let's say, like the youth from 10 countries under the same roof. So being around them, it's just, you get that spark of braze. So after joining YALI, this is when I started the business.
I applied for YALI program when I was already working on my project. But at that time, it was just a startup. I didn't have information on how to scale it. But being part of YALI program, first of all, it proved to me that what I was starting to do in my community is valid, because I've been able to meet with other change makers all around East Africa who are doing the same things. So being in that environment of change makers who are doing great things in their community, it taught me that I can also continue working on my project and to scale it. I've been able to learn on how to include the community in what I was trying to do, not only to think for them, but to involve them in decision making, but also even in the design phase rather than the implementation. And it really helped me, because now each and everything that we do, we first have to consult the community to seek the insight from them.
When I started, the first challenge was like mostly like the lack of support and mostly emotional ones. Not just like the capital as we used to say, but you know, when you like your surroundings are not supportive, and also when the sector, every time you go, it's like you're young and a girl, it was something like crashing. So when I started, I was publishing a magazine called the Cosmos Magazine, and that was the time of the backlash. And as I was trying to figure out, that's the time I had different programs, including YALI, where I had different ways of coping with it, and now reading myself better and starting to focus on things that I could control, and also looking at why I do what I do and remembering what will happen if I stop. So that was some of the advice from mentors. And every time I think, like time I could think of giving up, I was thinking about what will happen if I stop. So mostly that's why I kept going. Not because there were no challenges, but because I had to focus on what I wanted and making sure that in any way, whether I get there like in 10 years or 5 years, but I don't have to stop. So mostly that's why.
I haven't reached that far where I want to go, but at least I have started. You know, I started the first company into real estate, and then now I'm venturing into agribusiness. And this is something I can speak on and at least show the other people that can probably follow the trail, or they can even go higher than me. So what I'm saying is, if you have that dream, that dream that has been eating you up, you can just start, you can go, and the rest will be history. So what I'm telling them, they should not be held back by the fear, but they have to make that bold step. They have to bet bold on themselves, so they can start that initiative. You never know. It would turn into the empire that we see. You could change the people's lives around. So basically, and with my community, we have some small gatherings that we normally do in the evening, or probably if I just use the word of mouth when I meet other fellow farmers, I always encourage them to see how they can turn whatever they're doing into kind of monetizing what they're doing. So basically, even me, where I am, it's not where I'm supposed to do. I don't have to do only farming, but I'm thinking of how I can add some value addition. I always tell them to add some value addition. So this is where we will get a chunk of money, but also this is where we will take the agriculture sector to another level.
Currently, what I'm doing to inspire other change makers in my community, first of all, is to share with them the path that I've passed through to be able to gain the knowledge that I have right now. This includes in sharing them the opportunities that I've been able to attain, in sharing with them business skills, or even the incubation programs that I've been able to go through, so that they can also be able to apply. And I'm always grateful to share my story with them so that they can get an inspiration. So from there, at my age, I'm a mentor of different young people, and I'm really proud to see how they're progressing, and it's one of the ways to give back to the community. And coming back to what we're doing currently, I'm grateful now because we have different facilities that we've been able to bring in place. For now, we have a Kigali menstruation station. This is a safe space for adolescents where they come and learn about sexual reproductive health without being stigmatized. We give them an overview of what is menstruation and the Rwandan context about it, without also forgetting to give them menstruation materials for those who cannot afford. And for teen moms who have already been the victims of the teenage pregnancies, we teach them economic empowerment, where we have a incubation program. They come and learn technical skills in terms of sewing. So I think this is the really relevant thing that we are doing in the community. And now we've been able to train 4,011 adolescents on sexual reproductive health all around the country, and that's really something that we are really grateful and proud.
But then, like I said, I was in civic leadership, but when after graduating into YALI, I started business because this is where I would feel like that's where my heart is fulfilled. And one thing is also, this is actually impacting the lives of the community, because people are being hired, especially the people that never got a chance to go to school. And also we share some good practices with other farmers. I'm always telling them that they have to go from subsistence farming to commercial farming. So YALI has contributed a lot, especially the leadership skills that we covered, the habits of highly effective people, 7 habits of highly effective people. They have really contributed a lot in my leadership skills. Honestly speaking, had it not been YALI, I couldn't have started the business because really I was really contented where I was. I was working, I was being well paid, but joining YALI, I felt like I have a call that is bigger than just having a job, being employed. I felt like I can contribute in the ecosystem of the business. So I started a business after joining YALI. In fact, I resigned my work or my job. It was back in 2016, but 2019 never found me in my job again. So I started in the real estate, and now I'm into agriculture. Basically, YALI has contributed a lot. Like I said, when I remember the courses we covered, like design thinking. Design thinking helped me to articulate my idea of a business, from identifying the problem to where I tested it, to where I prototyped it, and until I turned the idea into a business now that is running. So if I would say in a nutshell, YALI has enabled me to start a business. If I hadn't joined YALI, I couldn't have started. Number one, what I would tell the other change makers is that the growth and comfort, they don't coexist. Sometimes you have to go just the way you are, how you are. So basically what I'm doing now, number one, I always like to lead by example.
Makes me proud of being a YALI alumni is the environment itself. Being surrounded by great minds doing great stuff in the community. It's something that is really important. They're also like a shoulder to lean on. At the time you feel like you're confused in the work that you're doing, it's easy for you to find someone that you're in the same sector to inspire you and to show you the right path to take. I find it as something that is really important. And I also like the fact that it's an environment where you can even find the partners that you can work together, the reliable partners that you can work together in different activities. So that makes me very proud to be a YALI alumni. And what I can tell other young people who haven't joined YALI yet, I'm telling them that they are missing a lot and they should go and apply for the program. They don't have to give up once they're not accepted, because even me applied full times, but finally I was accepted.